November 24, 1971. A man boards a commercial flight under the name Dan Cooper. Before it lands, he'll hijack the plane, extort $200,000 in cash, then jump out of it mid-flight, over one of the most remote areas of the Pacific Northwest. He was never seen again. To this day, the FBI still doesn't know who he was. It started as an ordinary Thanksgiving Eve flight, Northwest Orient Airlines, Flight 305, departing Portland, Oregon, headed for Seattle. A man in a dark suit, sunglasses, and a neat black tie bought a one-way ticket in cash, under the name Dan Cooper. Nothing about him stood out. Middle-aged, calm, unremarkable, exactly the kind of person nobody would look twice at. Shortly after takeoff, he handed a note to a flight attendant. She assumed it was a phone number, a common thing on flights back then, and put it in her pocket without reading it. He leaned over and quietly told her to read it. The note claimed he had a bomb in his briefcase. His demands were specific: $200,000 in cash, for parachutes, and a fuel truck ready in Seattle to refuel the plane on arrival. The airline and FBI, wanting to avoid any risk to the passengers, agreed. When the plane landed in Seattle, Cooper let all 36 passengers and most of the crew go free in exchange for the money and parachutes. With the cash and parachutes on board, Cooper ordered the plane back into the air, told the crew to fly toward Mexico City at a specific low altitude and slow speed, and instructed everyone to stay in the cockpit. Somewhere over southwestern Washington state, in the middle of a rainstorm, at around 8 p.m., he opened the rear staircase of the plane. And then he jumped, with the money strapped to him, into a storm in the dark, over dense forest and mountains. The crew felt the plane shift from the pressure change, but didn't see him go. By the time they landed in Reno, Nevada, Cooper was gone, and so was the money. What followed was one of the largest manhunts in FBI history. Hundreds of agents, military personnel, and volunteers searched the forests of southwestern Washington for weeks. They found nothing. No body, no parachute, no briefcase. Cooper had vanished completely. For nearly a decade, there was no physical evidence at all. Then, in 1980, a young boy digging in the sand along the Columbia River found a decaying package of cash, just over $5,800, and the serial numbers matched bills from Cooper's ransom money. It was the only piece of the money ever recovered. How it got there, and what happened to the rest of it, remains completely unexplained. Over the decades, the FBI investigated over 1,000 suspects. Some had military parachuting experience. Some vaguely matched the physical description. None were ever confirmed. In 2016, after 45 years, the FBI officially suspended active investigation into the case, not because it was solved, but because, after so long, they'd exhausted every realistic lead. Theories range from the practical to the wild. Some believe Cooper was a former paratrooper who planned the jump meticulously and simply escaped into a new identity. Others believe the jump, done at night in a storm, wearing a suit and dress shoes, with no visible reserve chute, was almost certainly fatal, meaning Cooper likely died in the forest, and his remains were simply never found in the dense, remote terrain. A number of people have come forward over the years claiming to know Cooper's real identity, or claiming to be Cooper himself. None of these claims have ever been substantiated. This case also changed the airline industry permanently. In direct response to the hijacking, the FAA mandated that all Boeing 727 aircraft, the same model Cooper used, be fitted with a specific device, a locking mechanism on the rear staircase that prevents it from being lowered mid-flight. It's known, even officially in some aviation circles, as the Cooper vane. It's still in use on relevant aircraft today. More than 50 years later, D.B. Cooper remains the only unsolved case of air piracy in American aviation history. No confirmed identity. No body. No resolution. Somewhere between a meticulous escape and a fatal risk taken in a storm, one man walked onto a plane, changed aviation security forever, and disappeared completely, leaving behind only a name that almost certainly wasn't his.